This is 2OF Entertainment.
Hey guys, this has been a long time waiting. After a discussion, 7 years ago I think it was, we are finally at your vision. What is his vision? His vision is this. It is the Omni Karting Circuit in Karachi in Pakistan. Dr. Ovais Naqvi.
Thank you for coming and thank you for appreciating what we're trying to do here.
Do you remember that conversation we had? Wasn't that about 7 years ago in Dubai Mall?
It was 7 years ago in Dubai Mall, and at that point I had been working on trying to establish an international standard motorsport facility, specifically a karting circuit in Pakistan, and it had been 4 years working on it then. And 7 years after that, so about 11-12 years in the making, we've been fortunate and blessed that we've got a track that is comparable to any international standard karting circuit, and further developments are ongoing. Pit complex, the main building, other off-track amenities.
So this is the first of its kind, and I gotta be honest, like when I met him, it's a whole lot of time ago. We knew each other before, but we sat down, we had a sit down and over a coffee. He told me his vision, he told me his plan for this. And I merrily sent him on his way with my best wishes, thinking, good luck with that, and sure enough, it's not been an easy journey, has it?
No, so absolutely not. It's been a very painstaking journey, lots of dead ends, but we kept finding a way through those impediments and hurdles, and finding a way to it was just that desire that this can be and needs to be done in Pakistan. And there's no reason why it can't be done. If the region has such facilities, why can't we have them here? But there was no compromise on the quality and the standard. And that was where, we made sure that we came up to the international standard and made something which everyone would enjoy.
But I think the key thing here is to have the vision and then the perseverance to pursue it.
So yeah, there were many times, like I said, I hit roadblocks and dead ends and I thought about giving up.
I know, because you contacted me at that time.
I did, and it was just there were many low points, but somehow there were always, I like to call it chasing the rabbit, and there was always a rabbit in the distance that gave me a hope. And I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and somehow, when you look back, we've managed to persevere through all the difficulties, and those included construction challenges and engineering challenges, and we'll talk about that. And then we've managed to now come here where the track is there and people have started using it, and karting has started, and drifting and autocross and burnouts and skid pad and drag racing. So it's a multidisciplinary sort of circuit.
Don't tempt me. I'll tell you what, here it is, and it is a racetrack for ants. No, I'm just kidding with you, but if you get the reference, put it in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you what, this is a beautiful model of your vision. It doesn't look like this at the moment, but I'll tell you what, just talk us around this.
So guys, what you're looking at here is the 1.6 kilometer karting circuit. This is designed to meet international CIK FIA's grade 1 specs. It's 8 meters wide, and in addition to being a karting circuit, we've also added other features in it. So for example, we have a skid pad in there that you can see where we can put road cars and people can do drifting and burnouts. The back straight here can be opened up, and it is a total of 400 meters in length, and so we can do a 1/8 mile drag strip, 200 meters of drag strip and 200 meters of braking zone. In addition to that, what you see here, this building, this is our pit complex. It consists of, on the ground floor, the pit garages, 30 pit garages, a garage and workshop and storage area for equipment and maintenance. Then above that, we have a members lounge, exclusive members area with a business center and a cold bar. We have a media center, again separate, We have members' locker rooms and toilets. We have the driver's briefing hall. And then above all of that, we have the race control area, which is again designed to CIK specifications. And then the rooftop is an entire rooftop deck for members and for viewing. And when we shift our focus over here, the open area is the parc fermé between the two buildings. This big building is what we call our main building. This consists of our main registration, reception area, our lobby. It has our restaurant and cafe, which is intended to be a motorsport themed restaurant and cafe. We have the pro shop for merchandise and racing gear. And then we have a conference hall at the top, which is a covered conference hall and a rooftop event space and rooftop deck for events, along with a grandstand that's built into the building and a grandstand deck. And lastly, we have an open lawn area where again we can have a multi-purpose events and different off-track activities and entertainment and recreation going on. And this is the facility in its entirety.
And here we are, we're on one of 3 starting grids at the track and the various configurations that you have. This tarmac that you've laid down,
Right.
It hasn't been easy. There's some complexity to this, isn't there?
Right. So we had a few challenges when we actually got on the ground and started the construction work. And one of those was that the track had been designed because the soil here was very soft and waterlogged. So the track had been designed to be raised 2 feet above the ground level. The problem that created was that when the track level is raised 2 feet, the runoffs need to become 2 feet lower. And if
so hang on, so let me just understand that. What you're saying is the track would be up here,
Right.
and the runoffs, so basically carts would be going off a cliff.
Correct. Carts would be going into a ditch if they ever spun off the track. So the solution for that was either we fill in those ditches or those runoffs, which for 12 acres of earth fill is very expensive. So then the solution we found was to excavate from the ground level and go down and then fill back up to strengthen the pavement. But then we faced another problem. The water table is very high, and at 4 feet depth we had water. So we had to dewater the entire track excavated area and then put in significant amounts of fill there. And then we also put in a layer of geotextile, which is a very special membrane which is put underneath the pavement to retain all the pavement levels and the subgrades and all of those, prevents the water from eroding and depressing your tarmac.
So it's like a sort of a sponge where we'll sponge up the fluid and then let go of it, and everything here stays as it should be.
Absolutely. It works as a sponge and as a retaining net, and it keeps the track from eroding away. In addition to that, we worked on the surface of the track as well, and we did something on the top layer of the asphalt. We put in another layer of a 6 mm called a slurry seal coat, and what that does is it makes your track surface impervious to liquids, to oil, water, and even sunlight and UV rays. And so it prevents the track surface from getting damaged and increase the life of that surface. So we did that. It also gives you better grip because it's slightly abrasive and it takes time for it to get polished and very smooth. So it gives you better grip and on the surface as well. So
we're talking about grip on the surface. I think, what say we go around the track a little bit?
Let's do it. Sure.
So Ovais, we are now on the track. We've just come onto the track. We've turned left onto it. So it's a clockwise circuit, isn't it? And I can see on the right, that's the skid pen.
Absolutely. On the right, you see the skid pad, and the circuit can be run clock or counterclockwise, both ways. And the GP circuit we like to use is the clockwise one. This is turn 2, which is a very sharp one, and it'll probably turn 1 and 2 may remind you or seem familiar because they're very similar to the Dubai Cardrome turn 1 and 2. And
well, for a car, that's a hairpin, that turn 2, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And then here we have this parabolica, which just as a never-ending goes around the skid pad, and that leads into these S's. So you have a series of right, left, right, and then we come up to this hairpin again. And this now is our entire...
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I think it looks to me like it's a pretty handy drift circuit, isn't it?
You can absolutely drift on the circuit, do autocross, and we have had some pretty exciting cars, drift prepared cars doing drifting on this circuit, and it's been fun to watch them. We've also had people do burnouts on this, and what you see in front is the pit complex that's under construction.
So what's about maintenance of this place? How are you? I mean, I know you put a lot of effort, energy, and investment into the tarmac alone.
Right.
But of course, every piece of tarmac, every track needs to be maintained constantly, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and we have a full-time maintenance team. There's the team that maintains the electrical infrastructure, looks after that. There is people assigned to the plumbing infrastructure and the water supply, and then there's people who are assigned to the cleanliness and the maintenance of the track. At all times we do daily inspections. Our marshals and our mechanics, they do a daily inspection of the entire track, and if they see anything that requires any attention or touch-ups or rectification, then we immediately get that done from the appropriate contractor to come in and fix it. So
there's quite a complex set of corners, and from what I'm looking at, I mean, this is quite a complex. It's not something you would immediately, consign to memory on first acquaintance, is it? Who designed this?
So the entire circuit was designed by me.
Whoa!
Yes, completely. It's an original circuit designed by me. And what I did.
Were you inspired by any other tracks?
So what I did was, what we wanted to do is create a racer circuit. While the facility can be used for fun and recreation, and primarily it will, but we wanted it to be a circuit where any novice can come and learn racecraft and racing without having to go to multiple different tracks. So what you notice is that different types of turns, from parabolicas, hairpins, double S's, chicanes, high speed turns, low speed technical corners, we've incorporated all of them. And the way we did that was by taking or borrowing inspiration from various different either roads I had driven on or circuits that we've seen, and borrowing their elements, but combining them into what I call one sort of super circuit. And so and then I sat with obviously an architect and a CAD operator and put that vision and that design that I drew out on the paper onto the professional CAD, and then we built it to the CIK specifications for size and runoffs and turn gradients and all of those things.
So I've got to ask you, what does it feel like to all that stuff that you imagine, that you got a model of, that you put in a CAD, to see it realized? What did that feel like?
So when the paper came to life and we actually had the circuit, the ability to push it a little bit, and it's a phenomenal feeling. I mean, to go from years of planning and drawings and maps and sketches, and to actually be able to drive a vehicle on it, whether a car for autocross as we're doing, or actually putting the 20-30 go-karts on it. I mean, it's hard to describe that feeling. It's exciting, it's exhilarating, and it's just very satisfying. More satisfying, however, the most satisfying aspect is when you have, the public and the users and the people come here.
We're still recording. I know that we're in your own personal Honda Civic at the moment. Correct. But you know what? Let's go a little bit, and then you can talk me through the dynamics of each corner.
Absolutely. So what we'll do is we'll let me just bring you to the start-finish straight first.
Let's do that, yeah.
And then we'll do a little bit of a session, and we'll go through each corner. One of the things that you were mentioning is, the satisfying part of this is when you have people come who are users and drivers and racers, or just the general public even, who are looking for a good day out with friends and family, and when they drive or kart on this circuit and they appreciate and have a great time, and the enjoyment and excitement that you see from them, that's what really validates what we've been trying to do and trying to achieve here. That is the most satisfying part, that when the people appreciate the facility and the amenities and that you give them, and the experience that they take away, because at the end of the day, it's all about the experience that you have, and that's what really makes us push to keep doing this better and better.
Tell us a bit about your own driving experience, because you're a bit of a handy driver yourself, aren't you?
Right. So the way this all started back in the day, I like to call myself a wannabe race car driver.
I think you're underplaying yourself.
I like to think of myself as the first Pakistani who was professionally FIA licensed with a race car driver, and I did some very junior level formula racing, limited because obviously we didn't have tracks in Pakistan, and with that, no training, no opportunities to develop yourself as a race car driver. And that's one of the reasons why we developed this track, which we're getting on the main straight for. And so having done Formula BMW racing school and some Formula Renault and Formula Dodge and Skip Barber in the US, I got into trying to build this circuit. This is turn 1, which is a flat out on a go-kart, increasing radius turn, which leads to a very tight, technical, hard braking corner. When you come out of that, we enter this parabolica, and this parabolica just goes round and round around the skid pad, and it leads into a series of S's, and we can ride the curbs here, which leads into a hairpin, and then the hairpin brings you to this straight, which when we open it up is a 1/8 mile drag strip. Otherwise this is a chicane, and you go through this chicane and you have again a straight facing the pit complex, and you enter these double S's, and we come through the double S's, and we are now on a fast portion of the track, heading into another hairpin, and we take this hairpin and we'll come through the fastest part of the circuit, or the second fastest part, a series of chicanes, and as you can see, you can drift pretty nicely on this as well,
To all those watching, this is fun. This is really fun. I noticed the curbs are quite forgiving. Is that deliberate?
Yes. So we've made the curbs are ideally for karting, and
that's a very fast approach into that corner.
Yes.
But it's very interesting because there is just about enough space to do that for a car.
Absolutely, we've designed it to be able to have cars go through and do this, and so this is a flying lap.
I'll tell you what, I mean, just watching you there and experiencing the track at some speed, something like a Caterham would be hilarious around there, wouldn't it?
A Caterham on this track, or cars like a Lotus.
Yeah.
A Lotus or the MRS, those cars are absolutely fantastic, around this track on their own. We allow people to put one road car at a time and do exactly what we just did, either drifting or time trials, autocross. So it just adds another layer. I mean, it's a karting circuit, but it's a karting circuit which is able to be utilized in a slightly more different way as well, and so you can get your fix by doing this if you want, whether you're driving a Honda Civic or you're driving a BMW. We've had a Porsche 911 on this circuit. We've had multiple Porsches on this circuit. We've had a Porsche Taycan, and I have actually sat with a friend driving a Porsche 911 on this very straight, who hit 160 kph as he passed under this gantry that we have.
What, from here to there?
Well, from what we did was we had opened up the entire
straight. Right.
And so from the back end all the way till here.
I mean, I know a Taycan is fast, but I was like, whoa.
yeah. But if you open up the entire outer loop, it becomes a very fast track for cars to just keep doing loops around the outer circuit.
And so just before we close, I mean, I know you have a lot of ambitions for this place, and you're going to open it out for events, for leisure, for corporate, and for private. What about championships? Are you going to be running championships here?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things that we want to do, and we believe racing is the fuel that drives the business. The desire to compete and actually be able to showcase your own skills and your talent, and to be known amongst the country in Pakistan as the top driver or race car driver. And our aim is to nurture and cultivate someone or many someones who can then go and race and represent Pakistan at the international formula or other racing levels. So we intend to have endurance karting championships along with sprint karting championships, and we also intend to do something called sort of like a speed festival, where we will do drifting, drag racing, and autocross competitions as well. So
I'll tell you what, it's so exciting, it's so amazing. I can't wait to come back and see this place just absolutely kicking, because I'm sure it is going to be. Dr. Ovais, I can't tell you how delighted I am to see that vision, that picture that you painted for me, all those years ago to actually be sitting in a car with you going around this. What a privilege, what an honor, what an absolute delight. Well done, sir.
Thank you so much, Brown Car Guy, for being here and for giving us the honor of really appreciating what we've done and being part of the journey, more importantly. I remember many years ago when I would take your advice and your input, so you have had a major hand in, in helping bring this vision to reality, and that makes me feel very, very satisfied and gratified for you to be here and appreciate being part of this.
That is awesome. Thanks so much. I gotta end on that because I'm tearing up now because this is great. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments below, and if you want more information about the track, they can find out at
our Facebook page. Right now our website is not up, but go to the Omni Karting Circuit Facebook page and you can find out and contact us through there.
My name is Zohair, and Ovais Naqvi, he's been a friend of ours since high school. So it's been, what, 29 years since we've known him. And this track he's been talking about since the last at least 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. And now we see the final product, as you guys can see, and he's done a wonderful job. I mean, it's all perseverance and the amount of time and years he spent. He's just put his heart and soul into it. And the first time I came here and I rode on it, it's just an amazing feeling. He's bought the best of the karts, and which go at 80 kilometers an hour. So for kids, I have 3 kids. First time they came, they were so awestruck. They were like, Daddy, we want the membership. We want to get the membership and we want to get it going. So my eldest is 17 years old, and he's been into cycling. So he loves these kind of stuff. So I mean, it's been an amazing experience, and for all of Pakistan is going to be an awesome place to be.
I think it's the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in Karachi. The thrill, the design, just the whole atmosphere. Nothing like it in Karachi.
Hi, I'm Zidan Hassan. I'm 10 years old and we're here at the Omni Karting Circuit. I come here all the time. I know the track. I'm really experienced over here. So I'm usually doing sessions with a lot of people. So
what do you think of the track?
It's amazing. It's really well built. The owner always, he's done a really good job for this track, and it's just really nice facility. As you can see around here, they're sitting and all. So there's also the pit complex that's getting built, and hopefully we'll have even more fun with that.
And what's your future ambition? Formula 1?
Formula 1 champion.
Awesome. We hope to see you there soon, man.
I really enjoyed my time at the Omni Circuit. The karts were unbelievably fast, and driving at the limit is really an experience that everyone should experience once. So I would highly recommend you to come here and test out the new RT8 karts at Omni.
Phenomenal experience. Never had anything like this before in Pakistan. Great fun, and I think this place is going to be a great success. The karts are awesome, track is awesome, the staff is awesome, the lighting is awesome. It was a whole lot of fun, boss. It was a blast.
It was incredible, like a huge adrenaline rush. It was amazing. So cool. Amazing.
The first time you've been karting?
Second time, but this was probably on a much larger scale than I went. I went indoor karting a long time ago. This is on another level, like another scale altogether.
Will you be back?
Absolutely.
It was very nervous at first, but in the later runs I'm very getting the held of it. Also, the adrenaline rush gets you. It gets you. You get to go to higher speeds.
I'm here at the Omni Karting track, and it's a lovely place. It's just opened up. We just took a round around the track, and it was so much fun. It's so great to see such kind of a facility open up in Pakistan. It gives a tremendous amount of platform to the newcomers, to the kids who can just come here and hone their, themselves up, gear up for the international circuits. And all the best to Ovais and the team and the guys here who made it possible. And of course, thanks a lot to Shahzad, for being here, covering all the parts and everything. I guess, Shahzad, you also had a great time on the track, and looking forward to coming here again and again.
I'm at the Omni Kart in Karachi, and I have to say this is one of the best places to come, I think, around the world for karting. And the reasons are because this is, I think, in the top 10 or like top 6 or top 5 longest and largest kart tracks in the world, and it even has a 1/8 mile sort of drag strip at the back, so you can just absolutely send it. And it's just been an incredible time here, and it's just, the karts themselves are amazing. These are just like one of, I think, the 3 levels, so they're going to be even better ones, like 120 kilometers an hour. These are 80 kilometers an hour, as is. They're very, very nice. But an amazing time, and I hope to see some of you here.
Man, I have just been out on the track myself. I've spoken to a few people here, and I would say buzzing. Everybody's buzzing. Everybody that goes out and comes back, they just can't believe, A, that the facility is here, and B, that they get to go on it and see just how good it is. I'll tell you what, having taken the kart track myself, I'm not an expert karter by no stretch of the imagination, but having taken it out myself, the corners are fast and very smooth, very well flowing. The only issue I have is right here at the beginning where there's quite a bit of a sharp hairpin, so just trying to figure out how you get through that is a little bit tricky, especially for a novice like me. But some of the corners you start to realize after a while you can take them much quicker than you initially first thought. It's a very exciting track, very technical, a lot to learn, a lot to experiment with, but certainly it's the sort of track that, especially if you're young, and I've spoken to a couple of young kids here, young guns I would say, who very much on their way to maybe a future stardom as a racing driver in some discipline. It's the sort of track that would give them a variety of experiences to learn how to approach different circuits around the world. I know that Ovais was inspired by a number of different tracks, and he's kind of incorporated that into this facility, and it tells when you go around it. But an awesome experience. If you're in Pakistan, heck, if you're in Karachi, make sure that you come down and you give this a go.